Chapter 7, Understanding Marginalizations, Class 8, Polity, NCRT. What does it mean to be socially marginalized? To be marginalized is to be forced to occupy the side or fringe and thus not be at the center of things. This is something that some of you have probably experienced in the classroom or playground. If you are not like the most people in your class, that is, if your taste is music or film is different, if your accent marks you out from others, if you are less chatty than others in your class, if you don't play the same sport that many of your classmates like, if you dress differently, the chances are that you will not be considered to be in by your peers. So often you end up feeling that you are not with as if you what you say, feel and drink and how you act are not quite right or acceptable to others. As in the classroom, in the social environment, two groups of peoples or communities may have the experience of being excluded. Their marginalization can be because they speak a different language, follow different custom, or belong to a different religious group from the majority community. They may also feel marginalized because they are poor, considered to be of low social status, and viewed as being less human than others. Sometimes marginalized groups are viewed with hostility and fear. This of difference and exclusion leads to communities that have access to resources and opportunities and in their inability to assert their rights. They experience a sense of disadvantage and powerless with a more powerful and dominant section of society who own land, are wealthy, better educated, and politically powerful. Thus, marginalization is seldom experienced in one sphere. Economic, social, cultural, and political factors work together to make certain groups in society feel marginalized. In this chapter, you will read about two communities that are considered to be socially marginalized in India today. Uh, Adivasis and marginalization and Adivasi family in Delhi. Soma and Helen are watching the Republic Day parade on TV with their grandfather. Oh, see, an Adivasi float. Dadu, why do they always show Adivasis as only dancing? Yes, don't they know anything else about us? The the lives of Adivasis are very rich. Most people don't know that. When I was young, our village in Odisha was beautiful. We got everything we needed from the land and the forest around us. We in turn respect the land, the forest, the river. Suddenly, we were told that the forest was not ours. Forest officials and contractors cut down large parts of it. If we protested, they beat us and then took us to court, where we did not have our lawyer and could not fight our cases. And then, how did you survive, Dadu? Many of us were forced to leave our homes and find seasonal work in nearby towns. Then the company walls uh, came. They said three was iron or under our land. They want to mine it. They promised jobs and money if we sold our land to them. Some villagers were excited, others said this would destroy our lives and we would get nothing. Some gave thumbprints, not realizing that they were selling their lands off. Only a few were given token jobs, but most of us did not sell. Then they beat and threatened us. Still, eventually, everyone was forced to sell and abandon the land of their forefathers. They had to support our authorities. Our whole way of living vanished overnight. Oh, Dadu, and our landlord. For our 30 acres, we got a little money from one contractor. I never saw most of my friends again. The money hardly lasted in the city. We had no means of livelihood anymore. We were all cramped into a tiny rented room. How we missed our carefree lives, the open space. After a few years, your father got a job in Delhi, and we all moved here. There was very difficult time that it was why we both did not go to the school for several years. I hated going back to school. We had missed so much our studies and our other children made for of us. We spoke Santali at home and did not know Hindi. But now we have friends. I can speak some English now. I wish I could have shown my friends our village before it was destroyed. You can still tell them about our village. It has a lot to teach them. One day I'll make a movie on this story, our story, the Adivasi story. You just read about how Dadu was forced to leave his village in Odisha. Dadu's story is similar to the lives of millions of Adivasis in India. You will read more about the marginalization of this community in this chapter. Who are Adivasis? Adivasis, the term literally means original inhabitants, are communities who lived and often continue to live in close association with forest. Around 8% of India's population is Adivasis, and many of India's most important mining and industrial centers are located in Adivasis area. Jamshedpur, Rourkela, Bokaro, and Bhilai. Among others, Adivasis are not a homogeneous population. There are over 500 different Adivasis groups in India. Adivasis are particularly numerous in states like Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal. In the northern eastern, northeastern states of Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Tripura. A state like Odisha is home to more than 60 different tribal groups. Adivasi societies are also most distinctive because there is often very little hierarchy among them. This makes them radically different from communities organized around principles of Fati Varma, Jati Varma, caste, those who were ruled by the king. Adivasis practice a range of tribal religions that are different from Islam, Hinduism, and Christianity. These often involves the worship of ancestors, uh, village, and nature spirit. The lost associated with and residing in various sites in the landscape, mountain spirit, river spirits, animal spirit, etc. The village spirit are often worshipped at specific sacred groves within the village boundary, while the ancestral ones are usually worshipped at home. Additionally, Adivasis have always been influenced by different surrounding religions like Shakta, Buddhist, uh, Vaishnav, Bhakti, and Christianity. Simultaneously, Adivasi religions themselves have influenced dominant religions of the empire around them. For example, the Jagannath cult of Odisha and Shakti and Tantric tradition in Bengal and Assam. During the 19th century, substantial number of the Adivasis converted to Christianity, which has emerged as a very important religion in modern Adivasi history. Adivasi have their own language, most of them radically different from and possibly as old as Sanskrit, which have often deeply influenced the formation of mainstream Indian languages like Bengali. Santali has the largest number of speakers and has a significant body of publications, including magazines of the internet, are in e-zines. Adivasi, so look at the picture, okay. Adivasis and stereotyping. In India, we usually showcase Adivasis communities in particular ways. Thus, during school functions or other official events, are in books and movies, Adivasis are invariably portrayed in very stereotypical ways in colorful costumes, headgear, and through their dancing. Besides this, we seem to know very little about the realities of their lives. This often wrongly leads to people believing that they are exotic, primitive, and backward. Often, Adivasis are blamed for their lack of advancement as they are believed to be resistant to change our new ideas. You will remember that you read in class 6 book how stereotyping particular communities can lead to people discriminating against such groups, Adivasis and development. As you have already read in your textbook, forests were absolutely crucial to the development of the all empires and settled civilizations in India. Metal ores like iron and copper and gold and silver, coal and diamonds, invaluable timber, most medicinal herbs and animals product, wax, lace, honey, and animals themselves, elephants, the mainstay of imperial armies, all came from the forest. In addition, the continuations of life depended heavily on forest that helped recharge many of India's rivers and is becoming clearer now. Crucial to have availability and quality of our air and water. Forests covered the major part of the country till the 19th century, and the Adivasis had a deep knowledge of access to as well as control over the most of these vast tracts at least till the middle of the 19th century. This means that they were not ruled by large state and empires. Instead, often empires heavily dependent on Adivasis for the crucial access to forest resources. This is radically contrary to our image of Adivasis today as somewhat marginal and powerless communities. In the pre colonial world, they were traditionally ranged hunter gatherers and nomads and lived by shifting agriculture and also cultivating in one place. Although these remained for the past 200 years, Adivasis have been increasingly forced through economic change, forest policies, and political forces applied by the state and private industry to migrate to lives as workers in plantation as a construction site. In industries and a domestic worker for the first time in history they do not control or have much direct access to the forest territories. Look at the picture. This is a photo of Niyamgiri Hill located in Kalahandi district of Odisha. This area inhabited by Dongaria, Konds and Adivasi community. Look at this. Look at the picture. Forest land have been cleared for timber and to get land for agriculture and industry. Adivasis have also lived in areas that are rich is in minerals and other natural resources. These are taken over for mining and other large industrial projects. Power forces have often colluded to take over tribal land. Much of the time, the land is taken away forcefully and procedures are not followed. According to official figures, more than 50% of persons displaced due to mines and mining projects are tribals. Another recent survey report by organization working among at Divasi shows that 79% of the person displaced from the state of Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and Jharkhand are tribals. Huge tracts of their land have also gone under the water of hundreds of dams that have been